Hello, welcome to my channel once again. Charlie, there is this Nigerian guy who is trending for saying certain things that I don't know what you will say, whether you will say everything that he's saying is factual or not. He's been trending. He is the same guy that said Ghanaians don't have criminal tendencies, unlike his fellow Nigerians. This guy has dropped another video of himself talking about Nigeria pertaining to the beauty pageant that was held, the Miss Universe. He said a lot of things, and see, I don't want to talk much. Please don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. Let's go into the video, watch, come back and talk.
Ladies and gentlemen, concerning this Miss Universe beauty pageantry, seriously, I thought it was Denmark that won the thing. I thought it's Denmark. How is it that it feels like it was Nigeria that won the thing? Nigerians are noisemakers, and that's the problem. A thing that can be done by people and they don't make noise about it, Nigerians would always make noise about it. Now, Nigeria has gotten so bad that we celebrate near success syndrome. Nigerians will celebrate failures as long as there is celebration in it. This was how we went to the African Cup of Nations, and we were beaten. We were beaten by Cote d'Ivoire, but we were still celebrating. Why? Because nothing is serious when it comes to Nigerians. Now I understand why a wise man said that when we have stupid students to teach, we teach stupidly. When we have foolish students to teach, we teach foolishly. Little wonder the administration and the government of Nigeria has always been the way it is, because you can't take Nigerians seriously. These people are just noisemakers. We always make noise. That's the problem. The girl won Miss Universe, yeah, and Nigeria became better overnight, yeah. Oh my God. So this whole thing is to taunt South Africans, and by taunting South Africans, suddenly the South African economy will suddenly go down on Nigerian economy, or the Nigerian economy will suddenly go above that of South African economy. I don't get the situation. Make me understand this. Nigerians, we are in a curse. We are in a curse of administration. We are in a curse of governance since the inception of Nigeria. We have never had true government. Nigeria is going down the drain as the year passed by. And then you see Nigerians still talking and making noise, just because they want to effect themselves with distractions in thinking that they can run away from their problems. Lintus quintus batia to say, a man must embrace his fate or be destroyed by it. Little wonder on a daily basis Nigerians are getting destroyed. Seriously. Now I understand why there are much more beer parlors in Nigeria, because these are people that want distractions from the problems in their homes. So they resort to go to beer parlors and trying to distract themselves from their problems, as if by drinking their problems will suddenly disappear, only for them to get back and still meet their problems. Congratulations to Denmark. Simple. I have never been to Ghana, but I have so many Ghanaian friends owing to this social media stuff. And here's one thing I can tell you about Ghanaians. Ghanaians naturally don't have criminal tendencies, unlike Nigerians. Now, let me start by introducing myself. I am a Nigerian. I'm from the eastern part of Nigeria. I'm an Igbo man. And here is something you have to also know about me. I come from a highly academic family. My father retired as a lecturer, my mom is a lawyer, and all my brothers and myself were all professionals, lawyers, doctors, and engineers. Do you understand? But here is something I got to understand, owing to the fact that my mom is a lawyer. So I learned a little bit of criminology, and my mom would always say, anybody that has a civil mentality is always irritated at criminality. A person that is without criminal tendencies, do you understand, has a civil mentality as an evidence. And one of the things I also learned from her is that you really don't need to be in physical presence of a person to really detect that person. You just need to see the person talk and maybe see how that person looks, and then see the person write. Do you understand? Now, as a lawyer, you should be able to detect or decipher whether this person has a criminal tendency or not. And I've been given that privilege. So when I interact with Ghanaians, I notice that they don't have criminal tendencies whatsoever. Now, what I'm going to say, I'm going to break it in parts, part 1 and part 2 and part 3, because I have a lot of things to say as to the difference between Ghanaians and Nigerians. And believe it when a Nigerian is telling you this. Now, one of the things you have to understand is that Nigeria as a country has 98% of people that have criminal tendencies. You go to churches, they are everywhere. You go to schools, they are everywhere. That's why I'll tell you, Nigerians have so many schools, but all these schools are substandard. And I'll tell you what I mean by substandard, including the private schools where they pay through their nostrils. Do you understand? To access education. What I mean by substandard is that in character, these people are zero. You know, the university, my father would always say, the university offers you two things, character and learning. My father said that character is more of priority than learning. Why? Because you can learn elsewhere. But character, you should be able to tell by character a person that went through the four walls of a university and someone that did not. And when you come to Nigeria, you cannot differentiate. True, because the character is one. All right? Okay, here is another video. This is a continuum of what I've been saying about Ghanaians and Nigerians. So, Nigerians, one of the things you have to understand is that an average Nigerian has a criminal tendency. Put me anywhere. Put me anywhere. An average Nigerian has a criminal tendency. Like, any Nigerian is a futuristic, like, is a prospective criminal. I'll tell you the truth. And that's why in criminology, I'll tell you, for Nigerians, regard any Nigerian as a criminal until proven otherwise. That's what my mom would always say. Any Nigerian is a criminal until proven otherwise. The civil people in Nigerians, the civil ones in Nigeria are very few, that we are so alone. We're so few. It feels like we live in a cave. We are outshone by these criminals, like a lot of you respond. See, what is a trend in Nigeria is criminality. And I'm not talking about Yahoo boys. I'm talking about what is a trend. Now, let me tell you. Law teaches also that you can detect a person by that, like I've said, the way a person talks. If you interact with a Nigerian and listen to his reasoning, then interact with a Ghanaian and listen to his reasoning, you can be able to tell, like you will tell immediately, that Nigerians have criminal tendencies, Ghanaians don't. Now, it feels like Ghanaians from primary school are nurtured in character, such that they are civil by default. But in Nigeria, if you don't have a home training, which is very, very rare, if you don't have a home training to be civil in Nigeria, or maybe that somehow you're privileged and owing to the fact that you probably came back from abroad or you were born abroad, something, that's the only way you can obtain that civil mindset. If you were not trained at home to be civil in Nigeria, there is no other place you can obtain it in Nigeria. Not in school, not in church, nowhere. All these places are compromised. All these places will teach you criminality. I am waiting for anyone that can prove me beyond every reasonable, that can prove me otherwise, sorry. I'm waiting for anyone. Now, if you think, like I said in our school system, Nigerian school system, compromised, you would see what happened with our professors in this just concluded election. Let's not even talk about what they do to girls. Now, in schools, girls go to schools with the nature and the crave that they will get through school, even though they don't read, as long as they are beautiful and they can spread their legs. The same thing with boys, as long as they can give money. That's one of the things. Let's go to part 3 so I can tell you.
All the things that Ghanaians are claiming that their country is better than Nigeria. Have you ever heard or seen any Nigeria that say, I wish I am from Ghana?
I actually wish I'm from Ghana. Yes, I'm a Nigerian and I am more Nigerian than the person talking. And the truth is that I actually wish I'm from Ghana, and I'll tell you why. If my family was from Ghana, we would have thrived much more than we're thriving. My family is an academic family, and I know that Ghana nurtures academic minds. Meanwhile, Nigeria nurtures criminal minds. Yes, this means that if your family has more of a criminal tendency, you will thrive more in Nigeria. But if your family thrives, or if your family has more of a civil tendencies or civil-mindedness, you cannot truly thrive in Nigeria. You can't. It's kind of really hard for you to thrive as someone that has integrity, dignity, honor in Nigeria. It's so hard. So for my family, owing to the fact that we have those qualities and we're very much academically inclined and we cannot compromise standards, it's a lot more harder for us to thrive much more than we should. But if we're in Ghana, I know that by now, for crying out loud, now my parents probably would have been at the helm of their political affairs, you know, that kind of a thing. So they would have thrived so much. They would have really, really thrived so much. So I wish I was from Ghana. I wish I'm a Ghanaian. That's the truth. I'm not mincing words with this. One of the things, I consider being a Nigerian as a cause. Let me tell you something. This is not just for me. I speak for everybody that has a civil mentality. I speak for everyone that has a civil mentality. If you have a civil mentality and you're in Nigeria, the truth is that you would always wish that you're from Ghana. Or you would always wish that you're not from Nigeria. But when it comes to Nigeria and Ghana, you would always wish that you're from Ghana. But it's unfortunate, like I've always said, 98% of Nigerians have criminal tendencies. As a matter of fact, Nigerians thrive. It's a trend now for you to delve into criminality in Nigeria. It's a natural thing. John, it's just a natural, like, it's a natural thing, you know. As a criminal, you see, in Nigeria, we breed. You come to our churches, every one of them, criminals. All of them. School, oh God, all of them, including private schools. Criminality. substandard, compromised. Nothing about character, zero. Criminality. That's why Nigerians have created so much of a strong criminal system that they cannot install any government that doesn't have criminal tendencies. It's impossible. It's impossible.
Charlie, this guy is a Nigerian. And to be honest with you, most of the things that he says in his videos, I kind of tend to agree with him because he's very factual. Someone like will not understand because he's a Nigerian and he's bashing his own people and all that. But Charlie, when you listen to some of the things that he says, he's making sense. Like he makes sense. He's making sense. Clearly, he's making sense. You know, sometimes we Ghanaians, we banter with Nigerians all the time. We say certain things and all that. But to be honest with you, sometimes when I hear some of the things that Nigerians say, they are not factual. It's like they are just trying to say something to just defend themselves. But most of the things that they say just to even banter with Ghanaians are not factual. So these things that this guy is saying, he's the same person. I showed you that video saying Ghanaians don't have criminal tendencies, and it's true. He wishes to be a Ghanaian. Like this guy, I'm very sure Nigerians would be at him. Like when you go to his comment section on TikTok, I'm telling you, they are bashing him. They are bashing him. But you know, the truth hurts. Truth hurts. Maybe he might not be 100% right or correct on everything that he says, but chunk of the things that he says or he has said are true. Let's be honest. They are true. So for me, if you're a Nigerian, just pick the good things that he said, work on yourself, and just live your life. Don't hate on the guy. He's just preaching. You see, he's just preaching and he's saying facts. Charlie, me, I don't have much to say. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching.